The Constitutional Court says the Supreme Court of Appeal's handling of the Please Call Me matter had shortcomings. It overturned a High Court ruling ordering Vodacom to compensate Makate with 47 million rand. The SCA instead wanted the telecommunications giant to pay more.
That the Supreme Court of Appeal, A, failed to provide adequate reasons for its judgment, B, disregarded or was unaware of certain material facts and issues before it, C, at times merely highlighted the parties' arguments in respect of central issues, but did not engage with those arguments in any meaningful way. D, failed to assess evidence that was adduced by the evidence, which it ought to have assessed. And E, readily accepted whatever Mr. Makate proffered without explaining why it did so. Based on these holdings, I conclude that the Supreme Court of Appeal failed to discharge the duty of proper consideration. This failure violates the rule of law and the fair hearing right protected in Section 4 of the Constitution. My conclusion on this ground is that, absent a cross appeal by Mr. Makate against the order of the High Court, the Supreme Court of Appeal lacked jurisdiction to substitute its own order for that of the High Court.
The Apex Court has now sent the matter back to the SCA.
In this judgment, we dealt with factual issues, but crucially, without deciding them, purely to demonstrate the Supreme Court of Appeal's failure to comply with the duty of proper consideration. We cannot suddenly be at large, as the legal language says, to determine those factual issues. The matter must be remitted to the Supreme Court of Appeal for a proper determination of the appeal, and that must be before a differently constituted panel of the Supreme Court of Appeal. The court makes the following order. 1, leave to appeal is granted. 2, the appeal is upheld. 3, the order of the Supreme Court of Appeal is set aside. 4, the matter is remitted to the Supreme Court of Appeal to be reheard by a differently constituted panel of judges of that court.
But Makate is not deterred. He says he'll continue his fight for what's right.
Well, I'm still resilient. I mean, I'll forever be. We'll go to the SCA, and the SCA must just relook at the case and then provide us with the judgment that will then stand the test. The court has not decided on anything that the SCA has done, except for them not to express themselves on certain things that were before the SCA. If you listen to what Justice Madlala was saying that in terms of especially the determination of the CEO, I mean, they did not, I guess, thoroughly deal with that and why it was inequitable. And I think the High Court did that.
This was the last order by Justice Madlala, who hangs up his robes after 17 years on the bench. He's been described as a jurist of a rare caliber. Madlala will now chair the inquiry investigating allegations of infiltration and interference in police investigations as claimed by KZN Police Commissioner Nkosana. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Mnisi at the Constitutional Court in Braamfontein.